A screwdriver assault is caught on camera, and a Valley News Live crew is the target.
Plus, Fargo City commissioners say they've waited long enough, and they have now set a demolition date for a building that suffered extensive fire damage this winter.
Also coming up, why a juror who convicted a former Minneapolis police officer of murder is now defending himself. But first, breaking news overnight. Rescuers in Mexico City are bringing in a crane to help stabilize a train track carriage so rescuers can resume their search for survivors and victims of a track collapse overnight. So far, 23 people are confirmed dead and dozens injured after a track buckled and sent a subway car plunging 16 feet toward a stream of traffic on a busy road below. Pieces of the train split in half and trapped people inside the train and in vehicles down below.
Officials are stabilizing the wreckage as best they can to keep more of the overpass and train cars from dropping onto that road. Hundreds of police and firefighters say sectioned off the scene as desperate friends and relatives of people believed to be on the trains gathered around that accident. Now it happened on the Metro line that has been plagued by complaints and accusations of irregularities. We have new information this morning on the man suspected of attacking a Valley News Live crew in North Fargo. Police tell us they have identified the man and tried making contact with him overnight, but they say that he would not respond. So here's what happened. Reporter Nishay Taylor and our photographer Michael Downs, they were setting up for a live shot to lead off last night's 9 o'clock newscast when the man approached them at 1418 First Avenue North. Our crew says he got out of the vehicle holding a screwdriver. You can see he then stabs the camera that our photographer was holding and yelling at us to get off the property.
Our crew was actually set up on the sidewalk, which is public property. The guy got back in his truck and drove away when Nishay said she was calling police. Fargo police have confirmed with us that the man is the owner of the property and had been at a city commission meeting earlier in the night about issues at his property. Police say the suspect could be facing criminal mischief and disorderly conduct charges. Our reporter said that last night both she and Michael are okay.
That story our crew was covering at the time of the assault was a building complex that the city has deemed unsafe and wants demolished. This comes after a fire ripped through the building back in December, causing more than $200,000 in damages. Since then, the city has been requesting that the owner tear it down, but that hasn't happened.
The difficulty we're having right now with is there's animals get into it, people get into it, and it's a site that's a dangerous building. We're not sure that the ceiling might collapse or somebody might get injured in that area.
The owner has until June 30th to tear it down before the city steps in.
It is now 6:50 on this Tuesday morning. Let's get a check of that forecast. The sunrise is absolutely beautiful, but the temperatures, well, they're not very beautiful this morning. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning. Yes, it's gorgeous out there. It's nice to look at it from inside and not step out into the chill here this morning because temperatures are below freezing in the entire valley, or almost all of us in the valley below freezing, despite the fact that so many of us are enjoying this beautiful sunshine and blue sky. A look around in the Northern Valley, Donaldson, St. Vincent, you can see the sun there with the camera pointed in that direction. Cavalier, Drayton, all looking good here this morning to start off the day. Not feeling so great. We're at 26 degrees in Grand Forks and 27 in Fargo, 21 right now in Langdon. So keep in mind that even a 5-mile-per-hour wind or more brings down our wind chill factor, what it feels like, down into the teens. So you may want to grab that winter coat if you still have it out, or at least do some layering this morning with temperatures as low as they are. Looking at winds, they're out of the northwest. They're not too strong, but we are looking at wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. So that northwesterly flow just continues today, and so our cooler air mass sticks around, and we're going to be dealing with it here for some time this week. A look at your radar and satellite map, not much to show with clear skies. There are a few clouds over toward Bemidji in our eastern viewing area. Those will give way to some sunshine for you too. And checking out your bus stop planner today. It looks beautiful. We've got chilly temperatures to start out at the bus stop though. And then heading into the afternoon, expect temperatures to be on the rise. We'll get back into some 50s. With wind continuing out of the north-northwest and steady into the teens, but there may be some gusts that do pick up into some 20s this afternoon. Not as windy as yesterday, though. And yes, we do have to talk about this, the potential for some mix going on tomorrow morning around this time. We could see that happening. The best bet for that will be in southeastern North Dakota, and then dropping to the southeast from there. So Northern Valley, especially northeast, not likely to be impacted, but if you're in that area, you're going to want to watch out, and we'll, of course, be right here for you, tracking that throughout the morning. The rest of the week looks quiet, the work week does, but running a little bit below average as we head toward Mother's Day weekend.
Okay. Snow in the forecast here in May. I hate it, but that's North Dakota, Minnesota for you.
Yeah, welcome to the region. Lisa, thank you for keeping us updated, though, this morning. Now 6:53, family members and Fargo police, they want your help finding this woman who has not been heard from since Thursday. 30-year-old Jessica Hauser was last seen in Fargo.
Her sister is posting on Facebook that Jessica was last seen Thursday night around 9 in downtown Fargo. Her picture's up on your TV. Take a look. She's about 4'11" with a thin build, brown eyes and brown hair. If you have any information, please call police at 451-7660. It was a scary scene in Moorhead after a mobile home caught on fire. It happened during the dinner hour last night at 1300 3rd Avenue South. That's just north and east of the MSUM campus.
One person was inside at the time and tried to put out the flames before calling 911 and then got out of the house. Investigators are still searching for the cause of that fire. One of the jurors who convicted Derek Chauvin in the murder of George Floyd is now defending his participation in a protest last summer in Washington, D.C. This is following online speculation about his motives for serving on the jury and whether it might be grounds for an appeal. A photo posted on social media shows Brandon Mitchell attending the August 28th event to commemorate that 1963 March on Washington, where Floyd's brother and sister then addressed that crowd.
Mitchell says he was honest during jury selection. Legal experts say Chauvin's defense could cite Mitchell's attendance at the event as basis for an appeal. A woman who helped cover up the gruesome murder of 19-year-old Destiny Avery is out of jail after getting credit for time served.
I'm sorry. If I could go back to that day, I wish I could change it. I feel horrible, and I do take full responsibility for it.
27-year-old Andrea Payne pleaded guilty to aiding an offender earlier this year.
The two other suspects, 34-year-old Brandon Erbstasser and 22-year-old David Erno, they're also charged for helping cover up Avery's murder. They'll be in court on Monday. And 27-year-old Ethan Broad, the man accused of the actual murder, he is scheduled for court a little later this month. One woman is accused of crashing her ex-boyfriend's funeral in South Fargo, running over grave sites and then trying to hit people with her car. Fargo police were called to Riverside Cemetery on Saturday for that disturbance. The father of the man who was being buried said the woman was not welcome.
Another family member said the suspect accelerated her car toward him so quickly that he had to jump out of the way. 28-year-old Blair Witten of Barnesville is charged with reckless endangerment. A woman is behind bars after police say she threw a knife and threatened to kill two people during an argument at a Fargo apartment complex. Aaron Sunby is charged with terrorizing and attempted aggravated assault. A man called police on Saturday, saying Sunby was threatening to kill him and had punched a woman.
Police say Sunby came out of an apartment with a large knife and threw it at the man. Sunby recently did 4 months in jail for her role in a fight at a Moorhead apartment building that led to the death of a 33-year-old man. If you're in line for a refund from that Fargo Taco and Margarita Festival this past weekend, well, be ready for a wait. We told you yesterday that many people who attended thought the event was a scam, that they waited in line for an hour to get food and drinks, only to walk away with nothing because vendors ran out of food.
Yeah, the festival's main organizer is apologizing for the event not going as planned, saying he takes full responsibility for not having enough food vendors. Other organizers say the ticket money is still pending, but they assure customers who want a refund that they will receive communication about how to get their money back within a few weeks. The city of Fargo is renewing its agreement with Cass County Vector Control to spray for mosquitoes, and unlike Moorhead, is keeping the option of aerial spraying as well as ground spraying.
You'll recall that earlier this month, Moorhead opted out of aerial spraying, at least initially. A Native American legend is now coming to life in the Turtle Mountains of North Dakota. The Turtle Mountain Band of Chippewa has a new addition to its buffalo herd that holds cultural significance for many tribes. They were gifted a white buffalo earlier this month by a Sioux County rancher, and tribal members now hope to encourage people to visit that symbol of hope and unity.
People often see the legend right off of Highway 281 near Belcourt, and caretakers are looking to make the park even more people-friendly to continue encouraging visitors. Here's something to keep in mind when you book your next vacation. Passengers on planes, trains, and buses still have to wear a face mask until at least this fall.
In the Valley, today's Brian Sherrod. He joins us live in studio with what to expect if you want to travel. Good morning, Brian.
And good morning, Jordan. Lisa, the decision was made on Tuesday to extend until the mandate until September 13th, and it was originally set on to expire May 11th. Now, airports across the United States, including our Hector International Airport and unions, push for that extension. There are some exceptions: children up to age 2 and people with certain disabilities. If you don't have a mask on, you will be removed from the building. This goes for all flights: Delta, United, American, Frontier, and Allegiant. Now, before booking your flight, make sure to check your airline's rules.
The airports across the country are doing everything they can to try and be as consistent as possible for that passenger experience. So what you see at one airport's check-in counter and at the checkpoint is consistent with what you will encounter at another airport.
The North Dakota Army National Guard still at the airport offering rapid testing, and you get your results in just 15 minutes. Rapid testing goes from 10 in the morning until 10 at night for everyone, and make sure to get to the terminal at least an hour and a half before needing to board. Now, the airport saw a 30% drop in March of 2021 compared to March of 2019. This is a much needed improvement when compared to March of 2020. Now, April saw an increase compared to last year as well. Boarding numbers is expected to soar when we hit herd immunity, and that's expected in fall of this year.
Brian Sherrod reporting live in studio. Thank you for that update.
Let's get the answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. That question today is: in a survey of singles, 74% said if they saw someone do this on a date, it would be a deal breaker.
It's a big percentage. We should have had this on Earth Day, which was just a couple weeks back. Litter. Do not litter if you're hoping to get a second date. That makes sense.
Where are you, though, that you might litter? Like, are you at a restaurant? You throw like your fork on the ground? Like, what's going on there? You know what I mean? Like,
if your first date is a drive-through and you throw the bag
your
out
popcorn
the
over it. Yeah,
yeah.
That's a no-go then. Remember, you can play along every day. Just head to the Valley News Live Facebook page.
The Today Show and CBS This Morning are just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on. Join us right now for more live up-to-the-minute news and weather on the Fargo CW.